gonna get up and go get it?
Randy, you have to talk to him because this is important. This is about saving my life. You can't just not talk to the man.
Try not to overfeed you.
Get out. I'm done talking to you.
Plus, the hospital staff not only seen you eating pizza, but burgers, and then you're smart enough not to throw it your own trash, throw it to somebody else's trash.
It was me that ate it. She didn't eat any of that.
You both need to stop lying.
Hello, everyone. Before we jump into the stories of the most unforgettable dirty enablers on my 600-pound life, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss out on these jaw-dropping stories. Ready? Grab your snacks, but maybe not a whole pizza, and let's get to it. Lisa Eberson's appearance on the show was a whirlwind of defiance, struggles, and, let's be honest, some seriously annoying moments. But she had a heartbreaking backstory to her weight. During her childhood, Lisa witnessed her father become someone unrecognizable due to his battle with alcohol, assaulting her mother right before her eyes. Her past deeply stirs feelings and insights into trauma and recovery.
My dad was an alcoholic. He wasn't at first. He was a real good dad when we were younger, but then he got into drinking and started beating on my mom and everything. So just that situation there made me turn to food. Food became a comfort to me because whenever I got upset or afraid or lonely, I knew it'd be there.
However, Lisa's struggles didn't stop in childhood. At the tender age of 13, she endured a horrifying ordeal that left her with scars that no child should ever have to bear. She was raped by 2 men. These deep emotional wounds propelled her into severe mental health challenges, painting food as the only reliable source of comfort and safety in her turbulent world. As the story unfolds, it's clear that Lisa's battles are far from over.
When I was 13, life changed a lot. I was at a friend's house. People I thought were friends. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I got raped, and it just happened. There's 2 different guys. I never told a soul, not even my mom. And I started eating a lot after that. I know I did. I did it on purpose because I wanted to get fat so nobody ever touched me again.
But as years ticked by, the consequences of finding solace in food began to manifest more visibly and severely. By the age of 51, Lisa found herself bedridden, trapped in a relentless cycle of compulsive eating that made every day a battle. Will she be able to break free from such a relentless cycle?
I must be pretty bad if people don't want to come visit me. It's nobody's fault but my own that I put all this weight up and I wanted this bed. Thank you. I deserve to be happy and I deserve to be free.
Her boyfriend, Randy, was at her side when we first saw her episode. Randy played the roles of caregiver and enabler, his unwavering support a double-edged sword that both sustained and confined her. Their life together was a complex dance of dependency, with Randy attending to Lisa's every need. This raises the question, can love actually get in the way of healing?
I like to snack a lot and eat a lot.
Well, you're not the person you go to pantry and get your snack. Who's bringing you your snack?
Well, when I could get up and walk, I'd get them myself, but now Randy brings me everything I eat.
So that is called an enabler over there. So when you got an enabler over there, they enable you to eat all the high-calorie food. How are we going to change that?
Well,
Somebody that's interested to keep you in the bed?
No.
When Lisa decided to take the leap and seek help, her journey to recovery began with a video call to Dr. Now, given her inability to leave her bed. Weighing in at 637 pounds, she faced the stark reality of her situation with Dr. Now. Suspecting the scale might not be telling the whole story, he prescribed a strict diet of 1,200 calories a day to lose 75 pounds. But will she follow the diet?
So what do you think the problem is?
I eat too much.
So how long you know that you're eating too much?
Oh, for a long time.
So what is new today after 51 years?
I don't want to die. I want to change my life and get out of this bed.
You say that, but doing that hasn't been important enough for you to start losing weight before this point. So you live in Nebraska?
Yes, sir.
However, Lisa's road to recovery was anything but smooth. Her willingness to embrace change, particularly when it came to physical therapy, was, to put it mildly, less than enthusiastic. And when Dr. Now inquired about Randy's role in her eating habits, his response was a moment of tragic irony. If she asks for food, I'll bring it. Is transformation truly within reach for Lisa?
So why are you overfeeding her?
Because she asked me to not get it for her.
So if she asks you, you're obligated to bring it to her?
Yes.
What happened if you don't bring it? Is she gonna get up and go
I'm
get
not
it?
talking to
Randy, you have to talk to him because this is important. This is about saving my life. You can't just not talk to the
Try
man.
not to overfeed you.
As time went on, Lisa's pattern of canceling appointments and resisting help became a source of frustration for everyone involved. Her interactions with the dietitian and physical therapist were marked by hostility, leading up to outright demands for them to leave her home. They were just trying to help her achieve her weight loss goals.
Sometimes when we get angry and frustrated, we want to blame other people and have them take
Okay, this is over with. Get out. I'm done talking to you. Give me my book. I don't blame nobody for anything that's happened to me.
Lisa, is part of you afraid of getting help?
Just get away from me. Get the out.
In Lisa's responses, she definitely demonstrated a lot of resistance, and she's obviously angry.
After a series of refusals and missed appointments, Dr. Now's last-ditch effort to help with a physical therapist was met with the same hostile reception. Even Dr. Now, the one person wholly dedicated to her recovery, wasn't spared from her abrupt dismissals and defiance. This program was her last opportunity for a better life, yet she resisted it.
But I think what you're expecting is for someone else to do the work for you and giving to your manipulation. So Lisa, we've given you everything to change your life, but then you have to do your own part.
What you gave me? I'm done. Goodbye. Here, I'm done. I'm done.
But life, in its UNPR addictable nature, threw a wrench in the works with Randy's untimely passing during the COVID-19 pandemic. This heartbreaking loss served as a wake-up call for Lisa, prompting her to reach out to DR. Now, once more, this time with a renewed commitment to her weight loss journey. Good for her. Better late than never.
I seem to be doing okay.
I'm glad to hear that. That's more positive than you usually answer. So I'm happy to hear that. Well, how are you doing with the PT? Because they tell me you were cooperating when you got back home. But over the last month, you haven't been doing as much. And you've been telling them you're too tired and you can't do it. So they have to come back later. So what's going on now?
Well, I've been trying.
All right. Are you able to start walking?
No, I haven't even got out of bed yet.
At 34, Crystal was battling a mix of health issues like diabetes, hypertension, and polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, which not only affected her health, but also brought unexpected challenges like hair growth in unusual places, including her face. To add to her struggles, parts of her stomach were nerve damaged, making her situation even more complex. So, will Crystal find a way to turn her life around?
My husband Freeland is the one I rely on to help me get up and through my day, but I hate making him do that because I know it's hard for him.
You're right behind you.
But my body is in such bad shape now, and I have all these medical conditions making everything worse for me. You know, first it started with things like joint pain, and it's been hard to breathe when I do too much. But now I have all these other issues.
As we've seen, Crystal's relationship with her body was complicated from the start. From a young age, Crystal found comfort in food. It wasn't just about eating, but about finding a momentary escape from reality. Her journey into binge eating began at 5. Around the same time, she faced a horrifying trauma at the hands of a family friend, a sexual abuse that continued until she was 13. No one should ever go through this trauma.
That my weight gain started Christmas Eve, right before I turned 5 years old. We went and stayed with some family for the holidays, and that's when one of them molested me for the first time. After that, my life was never the same. But that was just the start of it, because it lasted until I was 13. I didn't say anything to anybody for a long time, and so every time my mom sent us to their house, it happened to me again. And she sent us to their house a lot.
Following Crystal's escape into food for comfort, this dark period of her life was a secret she kept buried, even as she endured more physical trauma from her mother's abusive partner who targeted Crystal and her sisters. By 10, Crystal's weight had soared to over 250 pounds, a clear sign of how deeply food had become her refuge. But will she ever escape from this addiction?
I wasn't safe anywhere, so I just tried to escape. And food became that for me. Food made me happy. And when I needed that, I ate. So that's when I really started gaining. And by the time I turned 7, I weighed about 150 to 200 pounds. So I was putting on weight quickly, and that didn't really change. By the time I was 10, I was already up to over 250. But I never really thought it was a big deal until I turned around 11 or 12 years old.
While taking on new responsibilities, Crystal's health was a ticking time bomb, and she knew she needed some serious help. When Crystal first met Dr. Now, her weight was at a staggering 618 pounds. Dr. Now was taken aback by her lifestyle, particularly her sleeping habits, 15 to 16 hours a day, and her choice of breakfast, ramen noodles and cheeseburgers. What will Dr. Now recommend for Crystal?
And then after that, what do you do?
Sometimes I'll take a nap or go sit in the front room and watch a movie.
You just woke up, you take a nap?
Yeah.
Okay. And what time you go to bed?
I'm usually in bed by 7:30.
So you sleep from 7:30 till 11 o'clock next day? Mm-hmm. You know how many hours is that?
Way too many.
You know, the fact that you sleep from 7 o'clock at night till 11 o'clock next day is very abnormal, okay? Mm-hmm. So you should get 8 hours sleep.
Okay.
Okay, and that's not healthy, but depression may be a factor in that too.
Dr. Now recommended her to cut down her sleep to 8 hours and pushed for a consultation with Dr. Paradise, a psychotherapist. Dr. Paradise suggested journaling as a way for Crystal to process her traumas, telling her, "You have kept so much inside. You probably have books inside of you of things that have never been said." Will this lead to a lasting and positive change?
Homework for you is going to involve journaling. And I want you to use that journal as a way to start being a little vulnerable in your writing.
Okay.
Because you were quiet for so long. You kept so much inside. You probably have books inside of you of things that didn't get said. So start writing it now.
Okay.
Get it out.
Okay.
Crystal, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Crystal's efforts to change her life seem to be paying off, at least initially. At her second checkup, Crystal weighed in at 591 pounds. Dr. Now sets a new goal for her: lose 80 pounds in the next 2 months. Crystal worked hard, and by her next visit, she amazed everyone by getting down to 526 pounds, which meant she was cleared for surgery. But can Crystal maintain this momentum?
I'm able to get around easier, and I can walk for longer before I get tired. So I'm definitely noticing a difference in what I can do and all that.
That's good. I'm glad to see all your progress. You didn't make it to an 80-pound goal, but you're losing more per month this time. And in total, you're getting close to losing 100 pounds. So you've been sticking with it for a few months. So I'm going to go ahead and approve you for weight loss surgery. That sound good?
That's amazing.
Just when it seemed Crystal was on the path to recovery, life had other plans. Things took a turn when she missed her appointments for 7 months. When she finally came back, her weight had gone up again to 579 pounds. Because of the weight she put back on, Crystal couldn't have the weight loss surgery. This turn of events makes her story one of the most unexpected and failed cases on the show.
Looks like you went back to coping with food again. And when I talked to you, I warned you that no matter how hard it gets, you need to stay on track, or we won't move ahead with your weight loss surgery.
I know it's just been a whole lot longer for me to try and do this on my own.
I understand that, but you're still gaining, so that's the issue.
So I'm still able to get weight loss surgery?
Not while you're gaining. I told you that. But this is what we can do. You have shown me you can do this once.
If you thought Crystal Hall was a handful with all his rule breaking, just wait till you hear about Shenee Murray. Trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Make sure to hit that like button if you're loving the drama so far. And subscribe to our channel for more jaw-dropping moments from my 600 pounds life. Shenee Murray's story is all about saying no and pushing back, even when Dr. Now tries to help her get healthier. Shenee grew up as the only kid in the house. You'd think it's all about living the dream and being showered with love and attention, right? But things took a dark turn when she was just 5 years old. She was raped by her cousin. Poor Shenee.
I was a normal-sized child until the age of 5. Because there was one time where we was at my uncle's house and I was molested by my cousin. I didn't know as a child what was going on.
Reflecting on her traumatic childhood, just imagine her coming out of the basement in tears, running to her mom, who immediately knew something was wrong and took her to the doctor. That's when they found out the heartbreaking truth of what had happened. From that day, food became more than just meals for Shenee. It became her comfort zone and escape. But little did she know, this comfort zone would become her prison.
Inside, I felt terrible, but I just hid all my feelings in. I started sneaking food right after that incident. Food made me feel better. It made me feel happy. So then I started putting on weight. And when I was 7, I was about 130 pounds.
Years after turning to food for comfort, it wasn't a comfort anymore. Now, fast forward to her appearance on the show, and it's clear from the get-go that Shenee's heart isn't quite in the game. Despite the glaring health warnings and Dr. Now's roadmap to recovery, Shenee's commitment was, well, a bit shaky. Old habits don't go away easily.
You're not realizing that?
I did not realize that.
You're still eating whatever you want, whenever you want.
Not necessarily all the time.
All right, I don't think you're grasping how dangerous your situation is, Shenee. With all the health issues you got, you may not even make it to 30. You're not even trying. Did you even reduce a single thing in your diet?
I cut pork out, and I started eating crab meat and shrimp.
But hold on, it gets juicier. The plot thickens with Shenee's diet cheats. Even in a hospital setup with all the resources to pivot towards healthier choices, Shenee's husband turns into her partner in crime. Sneaking in pizzas and burgers, they were busted, sparking a not-so-joyful reaction from Dr. Now. Can you imagine the tension?
Shenee, see what I found.
Freddie.
What about Freddie?
That belongs to Freddie.
Shenee, the lying need to stop now. Okay, Shenee? Here's the situation.
Okay.
For 4 months, I have seen you from day one. You haven't lost any weight. Plus, the hospital staff not only seen you eating pizza, but burgers. And then you smart enough not to throw it your own trash, throw it in somebody else's trash.
It was me that ate it. She didn't eat any of that.
You both need to stop lying. You came here to have weight loss surgery. You haven't lost any weight in 4 months.
Seeing all this non-seriousness and ignorance, viewers were taken on a roller coaster of emotions, feeling everything from compassion to frustration over Shenee's resistance to follow the plan and her sometimes childlike ignorance. The real kicker? Shenee didn't get the green light for weight loss surgery. And let's just say she wasn't exactly thrilled about it.
It's not true.
No, I know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you simple science. And you don't want to listen, so don't try to teach me medicine.
Oh, I'm not trying to teach you medicine, but I'm trying to teach you about my body. Okay, can I ask you a question? Do you believe in God?
What does that have to do with this discussion? What I'm telling you is not a matter of faith. It's a matter of medicine and science and physiology.
And I understand that, but do you believe in God?
Shenee's resistance kept on growing. Just 6 months later, Shenee started skipping her appointments, giving the psychologists the cold shoulder too. And when Dr. Now checks in on her, Shenee hits him with a curveball question about his beliefs in God. Then she claimed she doesn't need Dr. Now's help because the world's full of doctors. And just like that, she hangs up on him. Who does that to the one person who is trying to help you?
What I'm telling you is not a matter of faith. It's a matter of medicine and science and physiology.
And I understand that, but do you believe in God? And I believe that God is gonna take me as far as He wants me to. He put me on this earth. If He wants me to have this surgery, He will. And if He doesn't, I won't. It's in His timing when this is gonna happen.
God isn't going to just remove the consequence of your bad behavior.
I don't have a bad behavior.
But the story doesn't end there. Shenee takes to YouTube, becoming a vlogger to share her side of the story, claiming she's shedding the pounds on her own terms. Whether that's fact or fiction, well, that's up for debate. But one thing is for sure, Shenee was one of the most ignorant and defiant stars to hit the show.
Shenee missed her appointment, didn't show up, and I'm calling to find out what's going on. Once again, Shenee has missed her appointment, but this time she's not even answering her phone or responding to us. So it is unfortunate. And it is a disappointing outcome. But we are letting her know that because of her complete lack of compliance,
Keeny couldn't stand up by herself for more than a quick 45-second countdown. Yep, you heard that right. Even a simple trip to the bathroom turned into a team effort. Her nieces, Elisa and Deja, were the MVPs of shower time, while her nephew played the crucial role of walking assistant. You won't believe how these everyday hurdles push her towards an unimaginable path.
Come on, babe. I'm ready to get washed up. Alicia is 16. If I'm gonna take a good shower, Alicia helps. Or if Deja's here, she helps. Deja is 19, and she's in college, so she's in and out of the house here.
Now, let's rewind a bit. By 10, Keeny weighed over 150 pounds, and by 13, she was 230 to 240 pounds. But despite her weight, she was living a normal, happy life in high school. She was dating someone and went to prom in high school at 17. So for her weight didn't seem to be a problem, so she kept eating more and more. That's some next level ignorance.
But I don't feel like I missed out on anything during that time because of my size. So I was happy in high school. I dated. I went to prom. So I didn't see a reason to change how I ate. So I kept eating more and gaining weight. And I graduated from high school at 17. I was well over 350 pounds, but I was still able to manage pretty well at that time.
After high school, Keeny landed a job and left home. But guess what? With newfound independence came an escalation in her fast food adventures and binge eating sessions. Before she knew it, 400 pounds was the new normal. But did she sweat it? Nope. Movement wasn't a problem, so in her eyes, everything was peachy. But the plot thickens as Keeny's weight continues to climb.
I didn't buy groceries. I ate out. I was making my own money. You just drive through. So my eating habits changed for the worse. And it was at that time my weight had gotten up to around 400 pounds. But I didn't feel bad because I could still move around pretty good. I was still moving and working and, walking around and not hurting. Just didn't really bother me. So I kept on doing whatever I wanted with food and eating. So I know my weight gain continued.
But Keeny had dreams, like starting a bigger family. There was just one big hurdle. Her weight was causing infertility and other health issues. Then life hit hard. She lost her mom and a tornado destroyed her house. These tough times made her turn to food even more. Wait until you hear how these adversities push her towards a pivotal decision.
Infertility can put a strain on the relationship. I just always figured that once I found someone that I wanted to settle down with, I'd get pregnant, we'd have kids, we'd go on with life. but I wasn't getting pregnant. I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it did attribute to weight gain, and that devastated me.
Then, at 41, Keeny decided it was time for a change and sought out the legendary Dr. Now. Starting weight, a whopping 614 pounds, Dr. Now prescribed a strict 1,200 calorie diet and some daily exercise, setting a bold goal of shedding 75 pounds in 2 months. But it was tough, especially since Keeny was the one in charge of food at home. So how will she cope with this problem?
They tell you you're eating too much, don't eat that much, or...
Will they tell me that?
Yeah.
No.
Nobody tell you that?
No.
Okay.
No one's gonna step on my toes.
Well, the dynamic seems to be that you get everyone to enable you, and you use them as a crutch, and it sounds like that is affecting their health too. So, would you agree with that?
At her second visit, her weight was 592 pounds. So she only lost 22 pounds in 2 months instead of her target of losing at least 75 pounds. When Dr. Now asked her about it, she got defensive, saying, "You're not a magician and you're not a god. You're just a doctor." Talk about tension.
So, if you expect us we magically make you lose weight, that's not going to happen.
I never asked you for magic. You're not a magician and you are not God. You are a doctor.
You're exactly right. I'm the doctor who's telling you how to get healthy. And so what's the purpose of you coming and seeing us and not following the diet and do what you need to save your life? Because everything is up to you. It's not up to us.
Stop it. Stop.
What is with this attitude giving me that you're upset because I tell you and you're not following the diet?
No, I am upset because you were...
But despite the rocky start, she agreed to stick to the 1,200 calorie diet. Dr. Now also sent her to a psychotherapist, Dr. Paradise, who suggested writing a letter to her late mom. It was a way for Keeny to process everything that happened since her mom's passing. Let's see if this will positively help her.
I was never able to get any closure from losing her because of my size. I couldn't go to her burial and say goodbye, and it's one of my biggest regrets that I let my weight get so out of hand that I couldn't do that. So I want to make that right, and I want to say all the things I never got to say to her.
However, Keeny's emotional and physical transformation journey reached a critical milestone. Keeny weighed 543 pounds by her third appointment and was given a new goal. However, dreams of surgery were put on hold due to health concerns signaled by high white blood cell counts. So the question remained, will her dreams of a new beginning come to fruition? All right, folks, if you thought these stories were wild, just wait till you see what else we have in store. Do not forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the drama, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another jaw-dropping episode of My 600 Pounds Life.
Rapid heartbeat and atrial fibrillation, and that is something that we need to be concerned because
with that issue, you won't survive surgery. And the reality is, with this issue, your body is getting close to a breaking point. And right now, you're not going to live very long unless you lose a lot more weight before things get worse.